Hey gamers, Gecko here. In December, 2XKO will cease active development, meaning that once Samira comes out for 2XKO, the game is pretty much done. This news came to us yesterday from Riot Games directly on a blog post that we will be reading in a short while, and it has been received not well at all. 10 years of development and not even 10 months of active content. Like, are we fucking serious right now? It is depressing, but if I'm to be entirely real, the writing was already kind of on the wall. After Riot fired half of their staff for the game, it wasn't looking like 2XKO was going to last much longer, but I don't think anyone expected it to last a year at most. Obviously, for people who are very big fans of the game, this is shit. And considering that Riot were set to save the FGC, people aren't very happy about everything that's happened. I have my own personal opinions on Riot Games and how they treat a lot of their smaller projects. This isn't the first time that a game hasn't done absolute gangbusters and it's been treated with the point-blank end of a shotgun, but we'll get onto that later. I think we should probably just read exactly what it is that Riot is saying before we do anything else. Here it is, released yesterday. It was around like 9 PM or something for me. I think it was a little bit earlier. I was in the middle of a fishing stream, don't worry about it. As you can see right there in big bold lettering, 2XKO active development will end in December of this year. Hey all, we have an update to share on the future of 2XKO. 2XKO's active development will conclude at the end of 2026. Over the last few months, we've been monitoring 2XKO's trajectory closely, and what we've seen is painting a clear, consistent picture. While a lot of you jumped in to try the game, and there's an incredible community that plays every day, we haven't seen enough players stick with the game to get to a path towards sustainability. Servers will remain on beyond 2026, and 2XKO will be playable on all platforms. Through the rest of 2026, we'll be introducing content, feature improvements, and 2 new champions, Lux and Samira, with the intent to deliver our final bug fix patch in December of this year. After that, servers will remain on to support online play, offline play is unaffected, and we'll give advance notice if any of that changes. So yeah, the servers are still going to be on. You can still play all of the online modes after this date is done. However, the days of the game are numbered. If you would ask me, I'd say give it maybe another year until the online shuts off. Maybe a little bit longer. And I would hope if they do shut off the online, they will give the community a way to still run the game in some way. So we'll have to see what happens. We're unlocking all champions. We're also bundling most cosmetic items and refunding all money spent in 2XKO before August 20th. Any content owned is yours to keep. Avatar and player profile items will be unlockable for credits. This will happen in patch 1.3.1 in September. More information on this below. Our goal now is to do right by the players who have invested in us so far and want to continue playing 2XKO, as well as the Rioters who have poured everything into delivering on the stream. The rest of this post goes into detail on how we got here, what's changing, and what's still to come. Yeah, it's a pretty long post. Oh, fucking come on, man. What was Riot's goal with 2XKO? Our dream was to build a game that the fighting game community would love to play with their friends. We wanted to be respectful of the incredible games that came before us and brings Riot's take on live service to a new set of hungry players. Our approach was to tackle some of the issues that we knew the FGC struggled with, by building more reliable netcode, making the rank grind less lonely, committing to more frequent game updates, and more. While the genre progressed significantly in the last 10 years, we believe that 2X delivered on many of those promises. On the business side, we hope by making the game free, we could make the genre more accessible and discoverable to new players. I'll get onto it. And that they could fall in love with fighting games in the same way that we did. Ideally, this would have happened over time, starting by earning the trust of lots of core fighting game players and growing into a larger player base when more features and content came online. we also went into this project knowing from the start that free-to-play comes with minimum player requirement to support these ambitions. Okay, one thing that's always annoyed me about 2XKO is that there's several die-hard League of Legends fans that don't know that it fucking exists. Riot, there's a lot of things to blame here, don't get me wrong, but 2XKO was never marketed outside of the fighting game community. It was marketed to us a lot. But the problem with marketing to fighting game fans is that they already have fighting games that they like. The amount of people I know that didn't really know that 2XKO was out, or they even got a fucking name change from Project L, was astonishing. Anyway, that's not the point. Early on, we saw pockets of the FGC fully embrace 2XKO, and we got proof that this approach was working on a small scale. Players pushed the game to its limits in high-level play, and brought their non-fighting game friends to play with them. Duos became a great way to mash buttons together, tournament organizers added the game to their weekly lineups, players told us they just wanted more. Champions, events, features, etc. While this is exactly what we wanted to see, it wasn't happening enough. Even within the genre, die-hard tag fighter players love 2XKO, but most other fighting game players struggled to find reasons to stick with the game. You can't make a tag game and then go, oh, fucking anime players and traditional fighter players and 3D players aren't wanting to play with it, but the tag players are liking it? Yeah! What? What did you think was gonna happen? Why end active development? We evaluate the game's overall performance, not just revenue, sure, but retention, new players, and engagement throughout 2026. We saw positive player reactions through the release of Akali, Senna, Fresh, and The Climb, and some amazing competitive events throughout the year. Even in these highlight moments, however, we saw no meaningful sustained change in 2XKO's trajectory. Only a fraction of what it would take to trend towards sustainability. Over time, it became clear it would be impossible for us to continue actively developing the game as we are today. In recent months, the team has continued to take bold swings while fully aware of 2XKO's challenges, but to attempt another year hoping for a way forward would have been an irresponsible choice for players and the dev team. To be super clear, we would have continued active development if we saw any viable future, but 2XKO costs us sustainably more to operate than it brings in, and engagement has stayed relatively flat despite our larger updates. So when we looked at all the options available, reducing the seam size, adjusting our patch schedules, or changing our business model, we concluded that finishing the rest of our work in progress content and sustaining active development was the best route forward for players and rioters. Okay, before we go on to like what's gonna happen with 2XKO, I mentioned vaguely before that I have issues with Riot Games, and that's true. Riot is a company that angers me to my very soul because the way that they operate seems... Have you ever met someone who at some point in their life became really successful? Like, let's say they started out, their life wasn't that great, everything was kind of shitty, not a lot of money, you know, maybe they kind of stunk, like, they weren't that popular, that kind of thing, and then somehow they become super successful. And they now have like $1 billion fucking dollars, and they own fucking 26 Bugattis and a mansion in LA and shit like that. And they change. And something about them fundamentally changes. And they feel like a different person. They're not the same person anymore. It doesn't have to be like money and success. Just like something happens to someone you know, and they're a different person now. And you talk to them and you don't recognize them. I feel like Riot has forgotten who they were. Riot, as a company, have forgotten the founding principles that they made for themselves, the thing that made League of Legends successful. Because they had a couple of projects that did really well. Like, League of Legends obviously did amazing. Valorant came out, it did amazing. Teamfight Tactics, they literally stole some guy's fucking game, and it did amazing. It did fucking gangbusters. Legends of Runeterra came out. It did amazing, but it wasn't making enough money. It simply wasn't. It wasn't making the money that it needed. So they scrapped it, and they did the thing that they said they weren't going to do, and now they sell physical card games. 2XKO has been alive, actively playable by the general public for less than a year. It is a baby. It is tiny. It is small. Yes, it had 10 years of development. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like this shit didn't cost Riot a fuck ton of money, but it also barely existed. And I'm not going to lie to you, outside of the fighting game scene, it was barely advertised. You can't rely on the FGC to do your advertising for you. You can't. You just can't. You might get lucky, all right? You might get lucky, and you might get a couple of content creators who are really passionate about the game. They make videos about it, and they bring people in, and they get people there. But they are a fraction of the actual marketing budget that you need. They are a tiny part. The community around fighting games is the smallest aspect that will get people to play these games. It just is. Once you already have the game, then you find the community. Granted, while you're in the community, you'll probably find other fighting games, but those games are also very small. They're very tiny. And from there, they can build up and up and up and get bigger fan bases. Under Night in Birth basically didn't fucking exist on most people's radar a couple of years ago. And then it fucking main staged at EVO. You can't just rely on positive word of mouth. You needed to market the game better. You needed to let people know it existed. You needed to find a way to get people in. And you could have done it easily. You have League of Legends and you have Valorant. All you had to fucking do was promote it in those games. And it would have brought more people in. You have an entire ecosystem of games. You can cross-reward between all of them, but you didn't. Why? I don't know. There's probably a very good reason for this. I imagine that the higher-ups saw the 10 years of development and didn't see $10 billion immediately in the company bank account. But this is also no fucking time at all to let a game just exist and grow. Like, oh my fucking god. There's so much about this situation that angers me. It angers me so much, but we need to continue reading. This isn't the rant video. This is the I read the blog post one. The rant video is supposed to come later. As we mentioned above, we want to do right by the players who want to continue playing 2XKO and deeply respect the love put into the game and the scene up to now. 2XKO remains online and playable, and we aren't going anywhere yet. We've still got more content to show you through the end of this year, and we are truly grateful to everyone who has been a part of 2XKO's journey so far. Here's a quick look at the patches for the rest of 2026. Today, you can't buy any of the premium currency. Physical prepaid cards will no longer work in 2XKO. Fuck! We'll get in the process of refunding all purchases made prior to the 20th of August. In September, Lux comes out. Drops with a patch. Lux is a Shoto-inspired character with a simple kit who harnesses the power of light to illuminate her enemies. We're adding a purchasable bundle in this patch for nearly all of 2XKO's cosmetics for $40. Fuck you, Riot. Fuck you. Just fuck you. Even on the deathbed, you try to fucking squeeze $40 out of me. Fuck you. Fuck you, bro. I'm making any items available by the earned currency, avatar items, champion chroma stages. Moving some systems, support long-term online play. Battle passes are going, champion tokens. We're removing ranks and adjusting and streamlining more casual lobbies. Casual lobbies still matchmake by skill. Private lobbies are unaffected. All champions will be unlockable for all playables. Fuses will still be unlockable through tutorials. We'll add voice chat. The game is dying, and they're like, you know what? Fuck it, yell at each other. Go and yell at each other. Oh, in private lobbies. Okay, fair enough. 40 players in one private lobby. My god. Samira comes out in October. Yep, she looks cool. It must be so weird. I like Samira. Like, she's cool. What if her kid's fun? Bro, we're never getting set. I was saying for the longest time, I'd probably get back into 2XO if they make a good iteration of Set. And I never got that. But what if she's fucking cool? What if she's fucking awesome? What if Samira's like the character I've always wanted to play? And she's in a game that's dead and doomed. It's over for it. Fuck, man. Optional December patch. If required, this patch will mostly be focused on bug fixes and won't include any major content. Okay. The competitive series is unchanged throughout 2026 and will continue to support players and TOs. This includes prizing for all majors and challenger events. The final competitive series event will take place in November. Beyond 2022, TOs can continue to run events featuring 2XKO using the community competitive guidelines online or offline. There's no perfect way to handle a decision like this. As 2026 continues, we'll be figuring out what more we can do for players, TOs, competitors, and creators that have consistently shown up for the FGC through 2X. We'll have conversation with community leaders over the next week, and we'll keep you posted here. Ultimately, we're proud of the game that the team built. We're grateful to everyone who made the game what it is today, and we're looking forward towards the rest of this year's releases. What's written above reflects our current plan, and we may have some adjustments to dates and comms as we go. Looking to the future, you can count on Riot to keep exploring new genres and ways to bring players together. For now, we're focused on leaving 2X in a great spot. Then, we'll head back into the R&D lab, where we'll take time to learn and work on how we come back stronger to the next swing and the next genre. Fuck you, Riot. I know people who worked on this game. I got very lucky. I was invited down to London back in November of last year. The day after the game came out, I was invited over to London. And I was able to go with a bunch of other like UK content creators and play the game. I got to meet a community manager who was very nice. She was very cool. I also got to meet someone who was helping working on the game. And the passion that both of those people showed me was insane. Like, I know fucking content creator things. Everything's happy vibes, happy days. Like, we try to make you have a good experience so that you, like, give more positive favor to the games. But now, the end of the life of the game, I can't help but think about those people. I can't help but think about how invested they were in this game. How happy they were that people were finally getting to play it. How much they were taking people's feedback into consideration. How they were asking us how to improve the game. How they wanted to know what they could do to make everyone's lives a bit better. And they took feedback from people and they did it. Like, 2XQ is one of the only games I've ever seen that's had a direct local support system. I have on my desk, literally right in front of me, stickers and a fucking pin that I got for going to my local. If you want to XKO that, you got fucking grab bags of swag. Kanura has like a fucking hat. The TO Willow was walking around with a 2XKO hoodie. Like, it's so fucking bizarre how backwards this shit felt. Where it felt like they cared and they were interested and they actually wanted to make something better. And then they just fucking pull it. They just cut it. They just kill it. They're just like, nah, it's not making enough money. 8 months. 8 months. That's what we got. We didn't even get a full fucking season. DNF Duel had more support than this game did. I mean, the writing was on the wall, but I did at least expect another character after these two, you know? I didn't expect Samira to come out in a game that was already dead. I know I didn't play 2XKO a lot. It wasn't a game that was built for someone like me. It just wasn't. Like, I'm just gonna be real. The game was built for people who grew up in the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 era. And that's not me. It just wasn't. I'm glad that a lot of people were enjoying it, and I had my time with it. The biggest reason why I quit wasn't even the game sucking. I had someone I played duos with, and then we stopped talking. And suddenly I didn't have someone to play duos with, and I didn't want to play the game anymore. Like, it wasn't even a fault of the game why I stopped playing. It's just depressing knowing it's gone. We never got Set, we never got Riven, we never got fucking Fiora, we never got Lee Sin. As much as I fucking clown on people for saying they wanted Lee Sin, we never got him. All these fucking characters they could have added. And they added fucking Kaylin. I also know people who made channels, started their fighting game content career, talking about this game. Back when it was still Project L, there was people who were like prepping and getting ready and being like, yeah, I'm gonna be the biggest Project L YouTuber. I'm gonna do this, this, and that. I got chances to speak to them. They were given 8 months. 8 months. I'm lucky. My fucking game looks like it's gonna die at any second, then it keeps getting another second win. I got 5 seasons of Stride before I was like, I'm not really sure what to talk about anymore. I still don't know what to fucking talk about. 8 months. I think that there's a bigger conversation to be had about a lot, honestly. Obviously, you could take this as like the intersection of competition, art, and business if you really want to. But as a fighting game player, I worry that this is a sign of the end. That's a video for another time. Probably on the main channel, but TLDR, or TLDW, I guess. With Tokon not meeting people's expectations, 2XKO dying, basically the only super popular fighting game in the past couple of years being Street Fighter 6. It's not looking good. It's really not looking good. But still, that's the video. Sorry to all 2XKO players who are not gonna have a place to go back to at the start of next year. Hopefully 2XKO is able to go out with a bang. I really hope Samira is good. I hope the last couple of tournaments that you guys get are really fun. I know it seems like I'm a vulture when it comes to this kind of thing, but I did want 2XKO to do well. Just because something isn't my kind of game doesn't mean I want it to, like, crash and burn. Like, I did want this game to succeed. I wanted to be wrong. I want it to be wrong in so many ways, but it is what it is. Thank you all for watching. I hope you're all doing well. And hopefully I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!